So I'm at a local crag today to try a project that I've tried a couple of times. So this project is essentially a different start to a problem that already exists. So I climbed a problem on this boulder in 2014, which was up this arete, and then someone added an extension that kind of continued a little bit further left. I always kind of saw that there was some holes in this area to maybe climb this problem, but I never really conceived of it being possible. I've looked at it a few times over the years and moved kind of the landing, and it's essentially 7 moves into the end of the existing problem, which I don't know, I guess is maybe like 7A, 7A plus. And yeah, the first 2 moves I've done. The third move I've done once in isolation. The fourth move I've done once in isolation. The 5th move I haven't done. The 6th move I haven't done, and the 7th move I've done. So I've got like a good few moves on this left to do. I'm going to warm up a little bit now, and then I'm probably going to try the end a little bit. I'm going to stick the fan on full blast to try and blow a bit of air into this thing, because it just doesn't get much wind at all. And that move just got to be so slow. So slow. Gonna try, I think, this move a couple of times, see if I can get into this hole comfortably, and if I can do that, then I think I'll try from this position bumping out right to the next hole. It's always hard kind of deciding exactly which order you want to try moves in. I'll always try and start, if I can, with like easier moves. Today I'm just starting with whatever I really feel like trying, which is that move. I'm just trying to engage myself and getting my feet on the wall, because part of the hardest bit of this problem is just, even though the footholds are massive, the handholds are like pretty bad, especially the left hand one there. So it's just trying to pinch them enough to just actually stay into the wall. So yes, okay, that works. I need my foot there. Okay. Shit, sharp. I thought maybe I needed a slightly stiffer shoe, but I don't think I do. I think I want something soft. Not that a Drago is stiff, but certainly stiffer than the sock. So there's a perfect example. I put a tick mark on, and I've actually put it too low. Let's put it a bit higher, because you need that right on the point. Yes! That's too far. That's too far. It's going to have to be here. So cool, one more move done. And yeah, it was actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. This shoe is a little bit better, I think. I don't think you can match your feet there. I don't think you've got enough space. I think you need to go underneath, out, and then drop in. So what I'm thinking now is I'm going to try from the position of the move I just did, with my foot in the place where it was when I stuck the move, to see if I can then move my feet to the next move. You don't even need this hold, as I kind of thought you wouldn't need it. That's every move done. The bottom's definitely not getting any drier, so I'm not going to be able to try that. But I think I can probably try this move. Might have an idea today of how roughly this is going to be, how long it might take. So far so good. It might be easier just to go all the way. kind of always the way with projects a lot of the time. You think they're going to be harder than they are, and then they just suddenly turn out much easier, and a lot of the time it's when your mentality towards them changes. That this one for me went from being something at the start of this year that I thought kind of wrote it off, and suddenly now it looks like it's going to be fairly straightforward. So I'm going to try and make a link today from this position all the way to the end, and if I can do that, then next session really I just need to work the crux move a bunch of times, do the start a little bit more, and as soon as I can do that crux move reliably, then it's time to just go from the start. Time to try the link. May actually be better to do that move slowly and go to this hole first. It's definitely easier to do it as a one move. Close. That's tricky. So now that I've done that link, I've effectively only really got the crux to try. This hole's near enough dry, and on this move all of your weight is essentially on your right hand, so I barely have to use this at all. So I'm going to try this a few times, see if I can do the move again. If I can, great, I may try to continue climbing. If I can't, then it doesn't matter, I'll just come and try it next time. But good advice, if you're bringing a fan, bring a battery that's fully charged, and ideally one that's 5 amp, not 3. Still very hard. Stay, isn't it? This move is effectively just about where you position yourself. You need to be, when you hit this hole, you need to be underneath it, because if you're not, if you're more in towards the wall, as soon as you hit this hole you swing out, and as soon as you swing out on this hole there's nothing on it to pull you back into the wall, so your hand just basically does this and just comes off the hole. I mean, it's different on like an in-cut crimp. If you've got an in-cut crimp on a wall, when you hit and you hit it and you've got a swing, you can pull outwards instead of downwards on the hole to pull yourself back into the wall. But on a hole that's essentially like a sloping crimp in a roof, there's nothing to pull you back in, and your foot's in a different place, so you've kind of got to then bump your foot back down, which is annoying. Unless, yeah, you don't want to do that. So you've either got to do this move off this foot, or you've got to do this move off this foot, but then when you hit that hold, put your foot here. Or you've got to do it all off this foot, and then do the next move off this foot. Yeah, 100% that foot. So more than likely going to be having to use this foot and bump down to that foot, but I don't know. Okay, that's it. A little bit off though. Okay. Yes. I mean, very shaky, but I need to put my left foot on to get my right foot down. I'm gonna have a few more attempts of trying to do this move, and then I'll wrap it up. So yeah, that's pretty much the end of this session. Probably total amount of time I've been climbing is maybe like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours may sound like a long time, but I've been having quite a lot of rest. So individual, if I've been just trying single moves, I'm maybe having 2 minutes, 3 minutes rest between goes, especially because it's one hard move. And then when I was trying link in 3 or 4 moves, I was resting maybe 4 or 5 minutes between goes. So, and then I was having a few goes, like 4 or 5 goes, and then resting maybe like 10 minutes. So yeah, there's a lot of rest in there. I've been messing about with the landing too, kind of like just filling in some little gaps and stuff, and that always takes up time. So yeah, I just need to come back a little bit fresher, a little bit stronger, with kind of dry rock, good conditions, and fingers crossed this one will go. So back on this project again. The last session I filmed properly on this was doing all the moves and making some links. The conditions weren't very good that day. The next day I tried it, I didn't film properly. I was just filming kind of some of the attempts that I had. And during that session, basically I worked the end section, got that kind of worked out again. Did the crux move once or twice. And then essentially just started trying from the start, because those first 2 moves don't add a whole lot. So you can see some of those goes now, and how that went. And really I feel like I fell off at what's probably the link crux really, which is dropping into this edge. I don't foresee that I could fall off after that, unless something went wrong, but you never know, obviously. So today, some of the holes are still a little bit kind of damp, so I've got the fan just kind of wafting some air through, and within probably an hour everything should be fine. So the plan is going to be to kind of get warmed up a little bit as well. I've warmed up my fingers a bit, but I need to warm up my body a little bit as well. When I've done that, I'll kind of start trying the end section a little bit, get that done maybe 2 or 3 times. Same process again, I'll try the crux move a few times, I'll get that done a couple of times, and then just go from the start. And I'm hoping that this session could be the one where I do it. Based on the last session, I'm pretty sure I can, so see how we go. Doesn't make any sense to do the end too many times today. It's like a razor hole right at the end. It just shreds your skin. Just need to get through that move. Yes. Yes. That was good. The sun just started coming just as I was on. Definitely had to fight, even for the top. Like, even when I got that crimp, didn't have it just right. But everything else, like the bottom bit, all went really well. When I first started trying this, I thought it was going to be harder than it actually was. Like, even today, even the start of trying it today, I didn't think it was actually that easy. But it's just as soon as you get warmed into those holds and the positions, everything just starts to feel easier. But yeah, psyched. That's really good. I'm pleased with that. It's a nice new one for this crag. Oh Jesus.